Right now at 5, the Supreme Court rules against affirmative action in college admissions.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. We will get to that landmark decision on affirmative action in just a bit, but first, a La Crosse man is facing charges of possession of child sexual assault materials along with possession of methamphetamine. Now, according to a criminal complaint, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children sent police a tip about 34-year-old Parker Barnes. He was arrested Tuesday by La Crosse police before his shift at the YMCA. According to the complaint, Barnes taught music lessons to children at the Y's La Crosse branch. In an email obtained by News 8 Now, the YMCA stated a part-time employee was arrested on suspicion of having child sexual assault materials. And in the email, Y officials said Barnes had passed background checks when he was hired last September. He is no longer employed at the Y. Barnes was in court yesterday and will be in court again next Wednesday. According to online records, he is not in jail at this time. Today's Supreme Court decision regarding affirmative action on college campuses is reverberating through Washington as well as colleges and universities across the country. Natalie Brand is at the Supreme Court with reaction.
Demonstrators gathered outside the Supreme Court Thursday after justices ruled race-conscious admissions programs at Harvard and the University of North Carolina violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment.
I know today's court decision is a severe disappointment to so many people, including me, but we cannot let the decision be a permanent setback for the country.
Activists who argued the university's affirmative action policies discriminated against white and Asian American applicants hailed the ruling as a victory.
From today, all children will be judged by the content of their character and also by their merit, not by color of their skin.
In her dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote the decision rolls back decades of precedent and momentous progress. As recently as 2016, the Supreme Court upheld using race as a factor in college admissions. Since then, the court's makeup has shifted sharply to the right with a 6-3 conservative majority. Writing for the court, Chief Justice John Roberts said universities can still consider an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise.
So we might see colleges and universities put more weight, for instance, on where did you grow up? Do your parents have graduate degrees? What zip code did you grow up in?
Both UNC and Harvard said they will comply with the court's ruling, but are still committed to bringing together students with different life experiences. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court still has more big rulings to come this term, including President Biden's student loan forgiveness program to erase or reduce debt for tens of millions of Americans. The High Court is also considering another case concerning whether a Colorado wedding website designer can deny services to same-sex couples. Well, back in La Crosse, following the Supreme Court's decision, local universities have to think about their next steps. Neither Viterbo nor Western Technical College consider race as a factor for admission, so today's Supreme Court decision does not affect them. The UW system released a statement saying, quote, "We are reviewing the decision to see what, if any, impact it may have on our universities. Like others across the country, we will assess next steps surrounding this issue and abide by the law," end quote. Universities have used affirmative action to increase diversity on their campuses. States that ended it saw a steep drop in minority enrollment in their leading public universities. A poll from the Associated Press last month showed that 63% of U.S. adults say colleges should be allowed to consider race as part of the admissions process, but few think race should play a major role in decisions. Viterbo University has been awarded a grant to expand training for substance use disorder treatments. The $1.4 million grant will let Viterbo work with current health professionals to provide mental health and substance use disorder services in communities that are underserved. Viterbo plans on using the grant to primarily service rural areas in southwestern Wisconsin. School representatives say this is a huge step forward in helping the community.
I mean, opioid addiction is such a huge concern for our community, and our goal is to really take a systems approach to equip people within our community to help solve those needs.
Viterbo also plans on using the grants to train their own faculty so that instructors can include the training in their curriculum. The grant program is set to last for 5 years. The next biennial state budget is one step closer to reaching the governor's desk. The GOP-controlled Budget Committee's draft made it through the Senate last night and is expected to pass the GOP Majority Assembly today. Republicans are celebrating the proposed income tax cut of $3.5 billion and the bipartisan deal to better fund local governments through shared revenue. One GOP senator says the proposed tax cut would bring relief to all filers and gets the state closer to a flat tax system, which neighboring states like Illinois use. He says 2020 census data shows states with a flat tax convinced more people to move to those states, and Wisconsin should be doing the same.
I think the message is loud and clear. Wisconsin wants to be competitive. We need to ensure that we have a more competitive tax climate. And so the tax cut that we proposed last night touches every single taxpayer in the state of Wisconsin. So we believe it's a step in the right direction.
Now, Democrats argue the state is not taking advantage of a record one-time $7 billion surplus, and that to pay for the tax cut, projects like UWL's Prairie Springs Science Center, the Office of School Safety, and child care in general become budget casualties. Senator Brad Pfaff today says his party agrees with the idea of a tax cut, but not this one.
I do not understand why someone would want to pass a tax reform in the state of Wisconsin in which the top 1% of the tax filers would receive 20% of the benefits.
And once the GOP Majority Assembly passes the budget, Governor Evers will have about a week to approve, fully veto, or line item veto the state budget. We may have noticed Derek Sibley is doing a lot more weather in much more of our newscasts than usual. He's been quite a team player, but to give him a little bit of a lift, we've got an old friend in to volunteer his time. It is Bill Grahl. We had him on yesterday. He's back today. Bill, it's another hot summer day and that air quality is still less than ideal out there.
That's right, Ken. Yeah, air quality is still an issue, but at least it wasn't as hazy as yesterday. You'll see that on a look through CityCam in just a moment. First of all, checking those highs, you mentioned it. It was another warm summer day. 88 the high in La Crosse, 84 in Eau Claire, 86 in Winona, also 88 in Black River Falls, even a 91 down in Boscobel. Again, a little bit more blue in the sky through CityCam at this hour compared to yesterday when it was so hazy, but still some particulates in the air. The ozone levels high as well. We'll discuss more of that in Maine weather coming up in a few minutes. Now, watching a few isolated thunderstorms. We talked about this last evening, the chance for some storms moving through this evening with the passage of a weak cool front. They're pretty isolated in nature, so I know a lot of us need some rain, so I guess consider yourself pretty lucky if you get one of these this evening. Current temperatures still pretty toasty, well into the 80s. We'll see overnight lows tonight, seasonably mild in the 60s, including about 67 in La Crosse. Again, that chance for some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms through about midnight or so. We'll talk more detail about that. I'll have the rest of my 8-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Bill. And as Bill mentioned, with the smoke and haze blanketing the region, unhealthy air quality is affecting about a third of the country. Local doctors say the smoke could be sticking around for the remainder of the summer. And while the hazy conditions may not seem like a threat, medical professionals are urging the public to stay cautious.
Whether it's burning forests or burning fossil fuels, we know that the fine particles in this pollution is really damaging to health. It crosses the lungs into the bloodstream and can damage most parts of the body, even crossing the placenta and damaging fetuses.
Officials recommend keeping your windows and doors closed and running AC throughout your home. But if you need to go out, then doctors say to check the air quality index and wear a mask. The city of La Crosse is getting a little boost to clean up around town. La Crosse has been awarded a $20,000 grant from AARP as part of a nationwide program to make communities more livable. La Crosse is one of 6 cities to be awarded throughout the state of Wisconsin. The City of La Crosse Parks, Rec, and Forestry Department plans to use the funds to revitalize portions of Cass Street from West Avenue to 3rd Street. A new bus shelter will also be built along Cass. Still ahead, the La Crosse bus system is offering some new ways to improve its accessibility. We'll have those details right after this.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
La Crosse's bus system is introducing a safer alternative for people with disabilities. News 8 Now's Michael Germain got a first-hand look at the new Quantum system on buses and joins us live in studio to explain. Good evening, Michael.
Ken, MTU launched the Quantum Mobility System today to help riders who use wheelchairs. Passengers park their wheelchair against a backrest, which starts an automatic locking system. The Quantum arms secure the wheelchair in place and can be adjusted during the ride. Once the bus gets to a stop, the driver releases the passenger using a button on their dashboard. MTU officials say this system gives riders more flexibility than before.
This is a new system. It's called Quantum, and it's a safer system and more independence for the person in the wheelchair.
Quantum is only on 2 buses. Today is the first day of a public test. The project was in development for a year, which is looking to add more systems within the next weeks. MTU hopes to have the system in every bus within the next few months. Ken?
All right, Michael, thanks very much. Still to come tonight at 5, warmer weather means the arrival of those pesky mosquitoes. What scientists say is the best way to keep them away from you, right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Grahl here reporting to you from Colorado. But again, looking at what's happening here in downtown La Crosse. Let's head out through City Cam 8 and you'll see a little bit more blue. Not quite as hazy as it was yesterday, but the air quality is still not the best. And that, again, continues to be from those wildfires burning up in Canada. A toasty 88 degrees in La Crosse right now, 87 at the station. Winds generally light from the north-northwest around 5 to 10, and the Mississippi falling 4.69 feet. Eau Claire, you folks, mostly sunny, again, a little smoky haze as well, 84 degrees. The Chippewa River is holding steady. Now, if you were watching me last evening, this visibility chart was showing readings between about 2 and 5 miles in many spots. But notice how most locations recording visibility of about 7 to 10 miles. So that's an indication of an improvement on that air quality, but still an air quality alert through noon tomorrow now for pretty much most of Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa as well. Particulates from that wildfire smoke, high levels of ozone as well. So the air remains fairly unhealthy for sensitive groups. So just keep that in mind. Look at the 90s over the Central Plains, 80s locally, some rain-cooled 60s in portions of Illinois and Indiana. We're still at 88 in La Crosse and Black River Falls, also in Preston, 90 in Boscobel, that 84 in Eau Claire. Now, dew points in the upper 50s to mid-60s, so some of us in that sticky range, 61 to 65 for those dew points, so you'll feel that humidity a bit if you have outdoor plans this evening. Winds pretty light from the north at about 5 to 10. Big complex of thunderstorms well to our south. That's that rain-cooled air in Indiana and Illinois. But again, I'm watching a line of broken showers and thunderstorms over southeastern Minnesota ahead of a cool front that's going to pass through this evening, so I can't fully rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm through about midnight. Sky Trackers shows those storms kind of fade as we head through the evening. But again, if you have an outdoor plan, maybe have that rain jacket or umbrella handy just in case one of those isolated storms finds your location. Now tomorrow, dry in the morning, but watch Sky Tracker in the afternoon, still advertising at least a slight chance for a shower in our southern communities tomorrow night as well. But again, I think the aerial coverage will be pretty minimal. Same with Saturday, very small chance for a few showers or sprinkles in spots. Otherwise, another toasty day for our Friday. Mid to upper 80s will be common, right around 89 degrees in La Crosse, more the same down to the south. And again, mid to upper 80s as we head back to the north, Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. You'll see highs right around 86 or 87 degrees. So here's my forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy. Again, that small chance for some showers or thunderstorms through about midnight. Only about a 2, maybe 3 in 10 chance. 67 for the low. 89 tomorrow. Dry in the morning. Small chance for a shower in the afternoon, primarily south. Very small chance for a shower on Saturday, 87. I've removed the small rain chance for Sunday, 88. And then hot to start next week. 91 on Monday. 91 for the 4th. Small chance for a storm, but a better chance Tuesday night into Wednesday. And that system will drop highs back to 85 on Wednesday. Right around 80 for highs next Thursday and Friday. So again, Ken, if you have an outdoor plan this evening, maybe have that umbrella handy just in case one of those isolated storms finds your location.
All right, good to keep in mind. Thanks, Bill. As most of the Midwest deals with poor air quality conditions from the Canadian wildfires, many are finding it difficult to go about their daily lives. Parks across the state have put their events on pause, and for mail carriers, they are definitely feeling the heat. One leader of a branch for the National Association of Letter Carriers in Milwaukee says he's urging carriers to take breaks to rehydrate when they can, and also says he's worried for some of his carriers.
I would be highly concerned for senior carriers, any carriers with any respiratory issues, anybody that has problems, in the breathing department.
Skowronek said that he's hopeful the smoke will clear soon, but says if it persists, it could present a long-term issue for carriers going forward. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say mosquitoes kill more people than any other animal. Since this is the time of year these insects like to bite, Mandy Gaither has more on how one scientist says you can keep the pesky little insects away.
They're long-legged, annoying, and many times you don't even know they're there.
Humans have been at war with mosquitoes for literally, millennia.
And these insects are more than just a nuisance. Every year, diseases mosquitoes and other vectors can spread cause more than 700,000 deaths worldwide. And in summer, they're out in full force.
It provides a really fantastic environment for the mosquitoes to get out and about and enjoy their daily hunt for humans.
Connor McMenamin works with Johns Hopkins Malaria Research Institute and studies the attraction of mosquitoes to humans. He says that while the insects are tiny, they have a powerful sense of smell and can track chemical signatures the human body emits through our breath and skin odor.
Some people are more attractive to mosquitoes than others, and we think a large part of the reason for this is the way that we smell to different mosquito species.
McMenamin says the best way to protect against mosquitoes is to be prepared. In your home, use window screens, air conditioning, and fans to make the environment less inviting. In your yard, tip out standing water and remove debris where mosquitoes may congregate and breed. And protect your body. Cover up with long sleeves and pants or apply an EPA-registered insect repellent.
Those containing active ingredients such as DEET, picaridin, IR3535 are really wonderful synthetic ingredients that ward away mosquitoes.
McMenamin says that while applying the EPA-registered insect repellent is the most effective way to stop mosquitoes from biting, you also have to reapply it often for it to be most effective, of course. When we come back, one La Crosse school is looking to take their teachings outside the classroom. We'll explain how right after this.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Summit Elementary could soon be teaching classes outside. Today, the school hosted a planning event to discuss their ideas for an outdoor classroom that's powered by solar energy. The proposed structure would be a wood frame structure shaped like a canopy. The structure would also have an array of solar panels to help generate electricity for the classroom. Leaders of the project said this would be a great opportunity for students.
It's a gazebo that's going to have a solar array that'll be on top of it where kids can come in, sit down, enjoy a little bit of shade, but also they can plug into, let's say, run their electronic devices to be able to do iPads and do projects for science activities and math and everything.
Volunteers for Solar on La Crosse Schools, or SOLS for short, say this project helps shine a light on solar power.
It's a combo project. SOLS, it's for the solar power. So it's bringing more awareness to the schools for solar. We've already put on 225 kilowatts of solar on elementary schools in the district, and this is just another project that we're excited about.
The group is almost halfway toward their $100,000 goal for 2023. If you are interested in donating or for more information on the group, we'll have a link posted at news8000.com. And Bill's going to have one more check of your forecast right after this.
Again, still watching that slight chance for a few showers and thunderstorms this evening through about midnight. Otherwise, seasonably mild overnight, lows in the 60s, including 67 in La Crosse. Small chance for a shower tomorrow afternoon, mainly south, 89. Small chance for a shower on Saturday, 87. Gets hot heading towards the holiday, 91 on Monday, and also 91 for the 4th. Small chance for a storm, but a better chance Tuesday night.
Thanks, Bill, and thank you for joining us tonight at 5. We'll see you at 6.